nation that we're looking at?
Um, I think so. I know we're doing like floor speeches at the start, so. Oh, you're on the right. You're on the right track, Bloody Rebels. Just keep going and turn left. There you go. Anyway, yeah. I mean, so I know we're probably not gonna go very long today, but I do gotta leave in like an hour and a half, just so nobody's like shocked if I just dip out in the middle of things.
So someone's recording this then?
Torton is streaming. Oh, 3D's here.
Because that just means I don't have to. So great. Godwin the parrot. Nice.
Yes.
Seems like an important member of the parliament.
Yeah, he's clearly the opposition's most steadfast member.
I can't seem to change his mind on anything. Twice that can't make it. A lot of people can't make it. That's okay.
He is a bit I don't know, he doesn't say a lot of stuff on his own, he just parrots what everyone else says.
Oh, Godwin?
Yeah.
Yes.
TPA news, if you're live, I just wanted to tell my mom hi. I hope she's watching, and I hope I'm making her proud. Probably not.
Well,
Ouch.
You're making me proud. I'm not your mom, but you are my dad.
Thank you. I like to think that I'm kind of the father of this nation in a way.
Yes, we'll go with that. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, I got turned around. Okay.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello.
Mr. Speaker, hello.
Yes, I
welcome
can hear
back,
you.
gang. Okay, just give me just 1 minute, and I'll call to order. There should be a bell here, so I can call on to order. But anyway,
Just go.
Yes,
Ring, 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 ring.
I'll just just do this expression.
Are there any trap doors or anything? You might be able to. Yeah, you can hit the trap doors. You can punch them.
I mean, I guess I can do that.
There really ought to be a bell in lieu of a gavel for the speaker, but that's okay.
Let's see. Does AimSlap have permission to build in here? He's not online, but
I think I do, but
I think you do.
I'm not going to be able to log in. So
Yeah, that's too bad.
Well,
Wait, do
yeah.
I?
add
Probably
add
not.
that to the
Let's find
pile,
out.
Mr. Development Minister.
No, I don't.
I don't even know what you guys want. I just kind of said, yeah, I can.
The staff
The
have.
speaker
they have
needs a
more-
bell to call the order.
Oh my gosh, yeah, 100%. I'm on board with that. Let me
Yeah.
just let me just do that.
Yeah, open Minecraft
Just
on
do
your
it.
phone for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm with you though. I'll add one.
Cool.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
I can be here for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, we should get started.
I believe the first order of business is the reading of the agenda. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, don't attack the press. Don't attack me.
30. Calm yourself.
It's a welcome gift.
Sure. A welcome gift of I have 5 less hearts now.
All right, I'm calling to order. Hang on. Let me just do this. Order in the parliamentary chamber, please, guys. Please. The members of parliament shall take their seat, and the members of the public shall listen quietly. All right. Okay. Before we start, I would like to give my thanks to the members of parliament as well as to the members of the public for attending today's session, which I don't think that there isn't anybody. So I guess. First of all, I would like to let the honorable clerk, which is currently in our presence, so I'll just do it to read out today's agenda. Let me just pull out the agenda. I forgot. Hold on, chat. Okay, so the first thing that I will be doing is the opposition leaders as well as the prime minister's speech. First of all, the prime minister shall rise and give a speech, and then after that, followed by the opposition leader, and then after that, we'll do the prime minister's questions, PMQs. First of all, we will do the questions from the opposition members, and then after that, we shall do it from the public members. I have a list of questions from the public that I shall address to the parliament. Please note that we will follow a round by round system. We'll have minimum of 3 rounds, but if the opposition leaders shall have more questions, then we shall do 2 more rounds. After that, we shall follow the status of the government, where the prime minister or his cabinet members shall give a status on several ministries and other reports, if any. After that, we shall do the parliamentary debates, debates on bills, resolutions, and urgent matters. I shall give a time allotted of 2 minutes per person, back and forth. And then after that, followed by the announcements, notices, motions, if any. If there's any tables, bills tabled, motion raised, or any parliamentary notices, then you shall say. And after that, we shall close. I shall give my remarks and I shall adjourn the session. Is that clear? Is that clear, chat?
Mr. Speaker, I move to accept the schedule or what am I trying to say? The agenda as read.
If you wish to amend the agenda, then you can do so now. After that, at any point, you cannot amend the motion. Agenda, sorry.
God, let me sit, please.
Nay.
Alright. Alright, then let us start with the Prime Minister's speech. Mr. Prime Minister, please rise and address the nation. Or the Parliament chamber, I guess. You should stand here.
Oh, I wasn't muted. Okay, I was looking for the unmute button. Okay. Honorable members of Parliament and fellow citizens of Alexandria, it is my honor to be here today, speaking with each of you. Our kingdom is in the midst of a pivotal season, one full of progress and ambition. The work that our Parliament has done on both sides of the aisle and the long, thankless hours put in by the Cabinet have been guided by a commitment to responsible leadership equal treatment of the people, and honest governance, and the enduring values of our great kingdom, which are individual freedom, whereby each individual may govern his or her own affairs, so far as shall not infringe upon the liberty of others. Limited government, whereby the crown and its ministers be restrained from excess and encroachment upon the lives of the citizenry. Law and order, whereby peace and justice be secured through firm and fair governance. Fiscal responsibility, whereby the public treasury shall not be spent in excess, but with prudence and accountability. The free market, whereby commerce and trade may flourish, unburdened by tyranny or obstruction, and individual dignity, whereby the worth of every citizen is held sacred and their rights maintained indefinitely. While some of us may differ in opinion, we are united in purpose to serve the people of Alexandria to the best of our ability. I am proud to stand here and answer questions later, be they critical or supportive, because they reflect a living, breathing democracy, not a dying nation. I look forward to addressing your concerns and sharing what we're working on. Together, we will continue to strengthen our kingdom, uplift our citizens, and secure a prosperous future for Alexandria. That's all.
Very well, Mr. Prime Minister, you may take your seat. We have one more, sorry, Mr. Opposition Leader, you may rise and address the Parliament.
All right, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I first of all want to express my appreciation that the Prime Minister's power company did not prevent him from attending this time. That's very good to know. I also wanted to take this opportunity to highlight some of the legislative contributions that Labor Public Servants has made in order to shape our nation. So we have the National Anthem Act to start, which is an excellent way to build community and Alexandrian national identity. I really do believe that a national anthem, which is chosen by the public, will set us apart on the world stage. I've been thinking a lot about what I myself want to contribute to the contest, and I look forward to seeing the contributions from other talented Alexandrians. Next, in the early days of our kingdom, many new Hamiltonian plots had been bought by players who went on to leave them underdeveloped, or worse, they had left the server entirely after buying their land. Our coalition is proud to have addressed this problem head-on by way of the Inactive Owner Act. This act empowers the Ministry of Development to conduct evictions on plots whose owners are inactive or are underdeveloped or are out of compliance with ministry regulation. To echo the sentiment of the Minister of Development, delinquent landowners, beware. They will come after you with the force of this act. In the realm of economics, our contributions to the Royal Bank Act ensure that the government has more flexibility in how it funds its most vital projects. Additionally, the Government Wage Inflation Parity Act and Royal Deposit Insurance Program Act build off of the Royal Bank Act in order to provide financial security to the people. The former ensures that universal basic income and all compensation issued by the government will scale with inflation, meaning no Alexandrian will be left behind by high rates of inflation. The latter establishes a depositors insurance program in our kingdom, which protects at least £10,000 of every Alexandrian's money in the case of a catastrophic bank collapse. We are very pleased to have received the support of the people for the Speaker of Parliament Reform Act. This change to the Constitution removes the punishing nature of the speakership, opens the way for an independent candidate to be nominated to the speakership, and establishes the deputy speaker position, giving the speaker cover in case they are ever absent. This act is a boon to this chamber as it greases the wheels of the parliamentary process and ensures that no group of voters has their representation needlessly diluted. And speaking of fair representation, oh, hello. Hello, Mr. Clerk. Speaking of fair representation, we are also pleased that the public supported the passage of the Fair Representation Act via referendum. This act alters the seat allocation formula used by parliamentary elections to St. Log, which is known to deliver seat allocations that remain faithful to vote proportions, as opposed to Dahant, which is known to give larger parties an edge. Although a vote threshold was implemented by the Sovereign Kingdom Party, we added a provision for a substitute vote, which a voter may use in case their favorite party does not cross the threshold to ensure that their ballot is not completely wasted. Finally, we recently passed the Active Voters Act. This act is a necessary election integrity measure which ensures that those who vote in our elections are those who engage with our community and remain as subjects to our laws. In order to prevent what amounts to sock puppet voting or foreign interference, one must maintain a certain level of engagement with the server in order to vote. Of course, there is still a month left in this term, and there is still much more work to be done. I look forward to introducing more of our legislation in the coming weeks. We'll aim to fund and promote Alexandria's fledgling journalism scene, refine our approach to activity requirements, work with business leaders to develop sensible securities exchange regulations, and further improve the workings of this chamber. Here's to another month, Mr. Speaker.
All right, thank you so much, opposition leader. Okay, so now we shall move to the Prime Minister's question. Here's how it will work. Members of the opposition, including the opposition leaders, shall give a question with a follow-up question afterwards. Please note that we will follow a round-by-round system. I'm saying it again, a round-by-round system. It means we will have a minimum of 3 rounds, and you can only ask one question followed by a follow-up question in each round. If the opposition members have more questions, we shall continue with 2 more rounds unless it is over. Please rise, Mr. Opposition Leader. You may ask your question.
Well, I do have to say, Mr. Speaker, I have quite a few questions here. I think a lot more than 3 plus 1 follow-up. So I have them by category.
Okay, I guess leave the round by round system, as there's you're the only one here, so I guess you can ask all the questions you want, and since the Prime Minister is okay with it, you can do it.
Okay. Let me see.
You may take your time.
Mr. Speaker, my first question is, when can the public expect the contest for Alexandria's national anthem established by the National Anthem Act to take place?
Mr. Prime Minister?
You could expect that through, I believe, the Ministry of Internal Affairs sometime in the next 2 weeks, for sure. We just had some other things we're getting through and some IRL things that we're kind of getting. We were just a little bit busy last week or so, and we haven't quite gotten to it. But it will be coming very, very soon. So you don't need to be waiting long for that.
All right.
Guess you may ask the next question.
Does the Prime Minister have any comment regarding the Internal Affairs Minister's recent attempts to use his position as a member of this chamber to carve out an exception to building regulations regarding his building?
So we do have to mention that every member of parliament has political motivations. Some people believe that it's important to have, first of all, it wasn't an exception just for him. It was an exception for anyone who wishes to pay to have their historical buildings protected, even if they perhaps go against some of the limits. Interestingly enough, he did actually apply for an exemption, and it was not approved. This was under the authority of both me, the Minister of Development, and the Secretary of Development. We all agreed not to approve the exemption. Everybody, of course, wants to benefit from everything that they can, whether that be stimulus checks or exemptions for buildings. Yet we have to be committed to fair governance. So we denied stimulus checks and we denied the exemptions for tall buildings.
When it comes to yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. When it comes to the recent resolution proposed by the Internal Affairs Minister, I wonder why does the Prime Minister and the Internal Affairs Minister think it appropriate to shield Parliament's conduct from scrutiny by the courts?
That is a misinterpretation of the resolution. I'm going to pull up the resolution really quick because I don't have it memorized. But we were not shielding from scrutiny by the courts. We were just reiterating what the Constitution already says. That's why we did it in a resolution instead of a bill, because it's non-binding, but it's just sort of elaborating on what we already have in the Constitution, and that is that Parliament is the sole legislator in Alexandria. The courts, well, yes, they have power, including the power to strike laws as unconstitutional through the power of judicial review. But essentially, it's simply saying that the court's job is to interpret the law and to make sure the law is constitutional, whereas Parliament's job is to write laws. And so the issue that we face here is this resolution is simply just elaborating on the fact that the courts cannot strike a law simply because they don't like it. It has to be grounded in law. That's really all that this resolution was saying. And it's just explaining that more deeply.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I do agree with the sort of separation of powers. Parliament is indeed the only legislature. The courts can't legislate. However, I did take issue with this idea that certain actions of Parliament are, Parliament is only accountable to itself, which was my reading of certain parts of the resolution and certain discussions around the resolution. So I would certainly hope that the Prime Minister would agree that Parliament should not, only be accountable to itself. I think that creates, potential for some abuse, and I would hope that he agrees that the courts should be empowered to step in should Parliament fail to follow laws that it has passed relating to its own conduct.
I'm sorry.
Prime Minister.
I would like to give the Prime Minister an opportunity to respond to that, of course.
I don't quite understand what you. Could you clarify? I'm sorry.
You can repeat the question.
I mean, it wasn't exactly a question, to be fair. I just think that when we get to this idea of like parliamentary sovereignty or supremacy, I worry that some would take that to mean that if Parliament passes a law about how it conducts itself. I mean, for example, the I Act has the requirement for statements to be made regarding referenda, and I would hope that nobody would think that, if Parliament fails to live up to these laws that it passes about itself, that there is no remedy in the courts. I would hope that, the opposite side of the aisle would agree with me that there should be remedy in the courts for that kind of situation.
Yeah, there would be. However, if the I Act were repealed, there would be no requirement for the I Act to be upheld.
Right, of course, Mr. Speaker, and I am on the same page with the Prime Minister on that as well, of course.
Okay, I think we agree then.
When it comes to matters of the economy, Mr. Speaker, I wanted to ask, when does the Ministry of Trade and Finance plan to release eligibility guidelines and begin reviewing submissions for grants, the funds for which have been appropriated under the Mid-June Grants Act?
Am I allowed to ask a member of cabinet to respond instead of me?
Yes, you can.
All right, Bloody Rebels, the Minister of Trade and Finance, would you be willing to answer that question as a member of your party as well as the Minister of Trade and Finance? If you need to type, that's fine. If you'd rather not speak, it's up to you.
Mr. Speaker, as to my knowledge, we have not yet been appropriated the 40,000 from the Mid-June Appropriations Act. We have only been appropriated our funding from the June Appropriations, and we plan within the next about week or so to officially publicize on the forums a way to apply for grants.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I thank the Minister of Trade and Finance for answering. My next question, when does the Ministry of Development plan to undertake the infrastructure repair initiative introduced in Section 5 of the Economy Act?
I would give that to the Minister of Development, but he, of course, is a.
I can do it. I
You
can
can.
do it.
Great,
Yeah,
go for it.
So I wanna paint a picture really quickly. That we recognize that there's a whole bunch of issues going on, right? Like I also, oh my gosh, there's a monster truck. Can I actually? I will type in an answer for you guys. Simply, to say simply, it's happening, but it's happening very slowly. There's not a lot of support right now from, I wouldn't say the community itself, but just, there's a lot of support from the community to do it, just not a lot of time that the community is able to help to support these sort of projects right now. But we're working through it. And I guess that is the entire answer. I don't need to type it out, but we're working through it just very slowly. And I apologize. And that is all.
All right, my thanks to the Development Minister for the answer. My next question is, can the Prime Minister explain why the government waited until July 3rd to enact the appropriations bill passed in June, Mr. Speaker?
Mr. Prime Minister.
Yes, June was a very busy month in real life for both me and the Deputy Prime Minister. We also actually weren't aware until almost 3 weeks into June that we actually had to do that. There was some misinterpretations regarding the Westminster system. Since this is the first government, we actually were under the impression that the king was supposed to do it. But obviously that was resolved, and it won't happen again. But yes, that was a mistake on our part.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thanks to the Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, when does the governing coalition plan to introduce their July appropriations proposal?
Mr. Prime Minister.
Yeah. So since the June appropriations took so long, I don't know if we really need a new appropriations until August. But if we have a need for it, we'll make a new appropriations bill. So.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I would suggest that there is some need for some appropriations this month. For example, we do need to fund the Royal Bank of Alexandria. By statute, that initial appropriation in the Royal Bank Act, of course, has been called for by an Appropriations Act of Parliament. I would also like to see some funding being tossed at the Royal Deposit Insurance Program, just to give them a little bit of seed money. And I would ask of the Prime Minister, Mr. Speaker, can he share an amount that he anticipates would be appropriated to the RBA and the RDIP?
So, sorry, this is actually really funny. I just realized that the Royal Bank of Alexandria's abbreviation is RBA, which shout out to the Redmont Bar Association of yore. But
oh, wow.
yeah, sorry. I don't know. That just tells you how I'm kind of an old frog here. Let's see. I'll admit that I'm not confident to say exactly what might be a good amount of seed money for both of those. Certainly, we want to make sure we don't overspend. Because everything that we spend was initially taxpayer pounds. So we don't want to be taking too much money from the citizens. They pay us to do a job, and we don't want to abuse that. These are things that are going to take a lot of analysis, and we're probably going to have to call in some other experts who are not necessarily members of Parliament to fully determine those numbers that I just don't have in front of me right now.
Okay, well, good. To follow up on that, Mr. Speaker, I would. Is the Prime Minister planning to hold a parliamentary hearing on that matter, or simply speak with those experts as just the cabinet?
So I think, at least for the Royal Bank of Alexandria, it will make sense to have Parliament involved, as Parliament is sort of the overseer of that. But when it comes to the index fund, I think that is more within the purview of the cabinet.
All right. Has the Prime Minister, Mr. Speaker, has the Prime Minister been considering any potential appointees to the board of directors of the Royal Bank of Alexandria?
There have been multiple considered. We have not made a final decision yet, and until we do so, I'm not sure I'm going to be releasing the names that have been on a list.
Yes, that is understandable. Okay. All right. Has the Prime Minister been considering an appointment to the position of Grand Seer of the Temple, Mr. Speaker?
That's a good one,
There.
Mr. Prime Minister.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I just said that's a good one, Mr. Prime Minister.
Oh, okay. um, uh, so there was a couple people that we had in mind, but again, we're not ready to release a name because we don't want to get anyone's. We don't want to give anyone the wrong. I can't think of the word. The wrong message here that if they don't end up being picked. So.
Right. Mr. Speaker, I didn't get an answer from the Prime Minister on this during the debate period for the Temple Act, so I'll just ask him again now. Would he have supported Amendment 3 to the Temple Act if all it had done was remove the Temple's role in government procurement? I do recall that he objected to the use of it as a charity, but yes.
I don't remember what Amendment 3 was. It's hard to remember all the past laws, let alone the ones that don't pass. You're gonna have to remind me what that is.
You can just remind him the amendment.
Of course. Let me pull that up.
Yeah, take time.
Acts of Parliament. What's that? Economic and business? No.
Okay, I actually did find it here.
Okay, good.
Nice.
Oh, it was administrative. Interesting.
Okay, so would I have supported it if? What was the question again? I'm sorry.
That's okay. If all it had done was remove the temple's role in government resource procurement, if that was the only thing that it had done, if it had nothing to do with charity, would the Prime Minister have supported that amendment?
I am going to have to go with no, because I do believe that this is a interesting in-game way to create a new form of roleplay that would benefit the kingdom. Uh, Again, there's no crackdown. There's no requirement that anybody participate. There's no requirement that anybody uh, provide anything to the temple. But the temple is using Alexandrian land, and it is the duty of them to make sure that they are giving back to the kingdom. And the best way to do that is to we can sort of lower taxes and lower the impact on citizens here by having an alternative way to collect resources needed for projects. So no, and I'd also like to stress that even though it's not required through the act as it is, the Amendment 3 addition of making it act as a charity, you are incorrect that I was opposed to acting as a charity. I was simply saying that removing that in favor of forced charity is not cracking down. Forced charity is not charity, but the temple is absolutely going to be a doing lots of philanthropic works. That is in the plans for sure.
Right. Mr. Speaker, what does the Prime Minister have to say to hardworking Alexandrians from whom he would take their work product for free without any consideration or compensation for their work?
We're not forcing anybody to do that. It's entirely up to them whether they wish to donate it or not.
What is the Prime Minister? Sorry, Mr. Speaker. I will. The Internal Affairs Minister has a point of order that he wishes to make.
I don't think
So I will.
we
I'll
are
step
going to
down.
use the round by round system. There's literally no members except the opposition leader. So I guess we'll not follow that system. So you can just ask how many questions you would like. I will say that you only have 6 minutes left.
Okay. Well, in that case, I will move on to my next line of questioning then, Mr. Speaker. Does the Prime Minister support the addition of playtime requirements for voting in elections and holding public office?
In principle, yes. I think I've been public about this opinion. I think that 4 hours is much more reasonable than 6 hours. There are a lot of people who can only play for an hour on a weekend or something, and I think it is a disservice to exclude them from voting simply because their IRL circumstances don't allow them to play for 6 hours. I think 1 hour per week is a completely reasonable expectation. So I do think that it would be beneficial to have those lowered to 4 hours instead of 6. But in general, I don't want people with no playtime coming in and voting.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, for that answer. Mr. Speaker, is the Prime Minister aware that some of his own voters from last election would not have met the playtime requirement that he himself is proposing here, the 4-hour requirement?
Yes, I am aware of that, and that is because last election we had a different requirement because the server was new and it was not expected for people to have as much playtime.
What does the Prime Minister have to say in... Mr. Speaker, I really do believe that that is an inappropriate comment from the
No,
Internal
Costa,
Affairs
please
Minister.
refrain
You
from
should-
using that word again.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. But I think, Mr. Speaker, isn't it true that there were plenty of Alexandrians who did put in quite a bit of playtime leading up to that election? Meanwhile, we can see that there are individuals who voted in the last election which had, I'm not even kidding, 5 minutes of playtime, and I can actually show that. If
you
you
have
would,
proof that you considered in the Parliament General.
So everyone has a right to a secret ballot, so I question how you obtained that information.
Mr. Speaker, we had a source who wishes to remain anonymous who was monitoring the poll at the time, and we have found that certain individuals who went to the poll had, that low level of playtime. Let me post the screenshots. I will post them in Parliament General. I'm so sorry. I'm stalling for time because I have to go and copy them and paste them.
It's all right.
All right. Well, I mean, so there's a couple things here. Is first of all, I'm not even gonna bother looking at those images because it's none of my business what people have been up to in their own personal lives. But more importantly is that there's two things here. One is that it was totally possible to join just a couple days before the election and not have enough time to get that playtime up. Simply because somebody went over and above and had more playtime does not invalidate people who didn't do as much. And the second thing, I mean, is just that just merely being present is not a guarantee that they actually voted. Furthermore, no evidence who they voted for, and I think that trying to figure out what people are up to in their own personal lives is just really unacceptable.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I certainly appreciate that the Prime Minister doesn't want to see this kind of thing repeated, but I'm disappointed that it did happen in the last election. And that is my last question.
Alrighty. So we shall move with the status of the government now. There's only one.
Mr. Speaker, were there not any public questions?
Oh yeah. Oh my bad. I forgot about that. Okay. There's one question that is good, and the other question I don't understand what he means. So let me just go with the first question first. Uh, this is by Magic Bones. He says, "How can you better the new player onboarding experience?" This is for the Prime Minister.
How can we better improve the new player onboarding experience?
Yes.
We need to have tour guides that actually enjoy their job. We need to have tour guides that are well trained by the Minister of Internal Affairs. We need to probably set up holograms at spawn rather than the signs we currently have, going over some of the more important stuff that new players need to know, such as how to avoid scams, like those foreign exchange scams that we've been cracking down on recently. Those are a few things right off the top of my head. I'm sure I could come up with more, but that is definitely something that we've been considering.
Okay. Thank you so much. And the next question is, why is the Prime Minister so good at his job? This is by Jonta. Jonta. Sorry.
Why am I so good at my job? I don't
Yeah.
really think I'm that good at my job. I think I'm okay. Certainly, just doing my best. I'm trying to get stuff done and serve the people.
Okay. So let's now proceed with the status of the government, which is only bloody rebels. And is Ames Lab here? Is he still listening? I think so. Am I
I
about
am here. What's up?
30? Okay. Okay. Okay.
What do you need?
We are proceeding with the status of the government, where several ministers shall give a report on what their
Oh,
ministries
nice.
are currently doing.
Nice.
So first, we shall proceed with Bloody Rebels as the Minister of Trade and Finance. You may rise and give a status report on what your ministry is doing and what is the future of this ministry.
Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Trade and Finance is currently looking for people, to join the Ministry of Trade and Finance in many different levels. And we're currently approving business registration, financial institution registration. And the Ministry of Trade and Finance plans to institute grant approval processes on the forums. Currently, we do have some grant applications and some tickets. We are approving those and issuing out the payments for those as set out by the previous Minister of Trade and Finance stoppers under the guidelines that are stated in the grant information on the forums.
Is that all?
That is all, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. Ames Lab. Sorry. Honorable Member of Parliament Ames Lab. Are you here?
Yeah, here we go.
All right. You may rise.
I
Spirit.
have risen, and let me tell you what else has risen: the resolve of the Ministry of Development to make Alexandria pretty, functional, and working for the people. Now, this has not been an easy task by any means. As most of you guys know, the previous person just disappeared and left us quite a struggle to kind of figure out what to do from there. We have started. Evictions have happened, and now we're even more restricted on those because of some of the new legislation. Going to work on fixing a lot of the infrastructure, rezoning, things like that. But I will say, without a doubt, and I have hinted at this at my letter, of just we need more people. That, or we need to either taper expectations about what the work that can get done overnight, or more people need to join and be a part of the fun. I hope you enjoy the amazing music that's playing as well. And with that, I will now sit and whatever. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Stone Boy, are you here? Are you present?
Hello, I'm present ethereally. Is my body still there, or is it gone?
No, it's not. He's not there.
You were
Oh.
kicked, unfortunately.
You may rise. You may rise in spirit.
I rise in spirit.
Yeah.
Everything's good. We ran 5 referendums this month. I think there's a 6th one that's coming about nominating Boba for heir, but I don't know what that really does. We've got 2 events that we finished. We did the knighthood tournament, and we did the the hockey game. We didn't do an event this week. We also didn't do an event last week just because I was busy. But we're planning to do some sort of boat race next weekend, hopefully Saturday afternoon in a time that fits everyone's schedule. We also have announced a July census survey. So it's a voluntary survey, but we're dedicated £1,000 in terms of budgeting towards soliciting like answers for that. We need more answers because frankly at this point we have like about a dozen answers, and that's not a lot, and everyone's gonna get a lot of money, frankly. The State of the Kingdom report is on its way. We're awaiting a few final replies, and our department for the guy assigned to do it is working on it very hard at the moment. That's about it. We have plans to renovate the polling booth so that in the next election things will look a little better. It will be a little nicer. There will be guides. There will be information available on the walls, instructions on how to vote and whatnot. And things are looking good at the Ministry of Internal Affairs.
Is that all?
I welcome
I
any
guess it
questions
is.
from the House.
Okay. Since you say so, if there's any question, then you may rise and so I can recognize you.
I can't see. Is there anyone rising?
No, I mean I don't have any questions. So
Wow, he doesn't have questions.
Okay, I'm back.
I asked all of them already.
Okay.
Wow.
I guess. All right. So now we shall move with the
Any
parliament.
questions about how we're going to enforce the 6-hour playtime? How are we going to enforce the candidate 6-hour playtime? No questions about that?
Well, Mr. Speaker, if the Internal Affairs Minister wishes to share that, then I invite him to.
Okay.
No comment.
Point of order. I don't think
Okay.
that this is the time to ask questions or give responses. Like, let's just move about our day here. Come on.
Okay. Yeah. Fine. Sure. I guess.
Yes, we already had that time. It's true.
We shall move with the parliamentary debates now. If you guys have any debates regarding any bills, motions, or basically anything else, then you shall rise so I can recognize you, and this can go back and forth with the person you would like to have an answer from. Anything?
I rise.
Fine, I will rise for a minute. And
Okay, Mr. Prime Minister.
I'm not the Prime Minister, but I will rise.
Oh shit.
And allow me to just say without a doubt that change needs to happen here, not just in our chamber, but also across the entire kingdom. We've seen so many countless ministers and members of parliament resign over the past few weeks and even the past month. Systematically, something is wrong. And I call upon every single one of our members and every single citizen and player within this community to look and reflect upon themselves, on how they can improve the community, the atmosphere, and the workload on our ministers. One thing that I will gladly point out is, as ministers, we are not supposed to be running the day-to-day operations of our ministry. No. That's why we have secretaries in our legislation. We need to redefine and think about how we utilize the citizens of our nation. Consider consolidation of ministries with our low player base. We need to just rethink the way that we run the government. I am a proud member of the SKP, and I am so glad that we are the governing party because I think that we can lead the charge in this more so than any other party. And I am proud to say that. And with that, I will open it up to some debate. I also have to probably actually run now. So just keep me updated on what the debate is. I would love to hear it. And with that, I sit, but not without praising our prime minister, our deputy prime minister, and every single SKP minister for leading the charge during this term. The work that they have done, that we have done, should not be, I don't even know what the right word would be right now in this situation. The countless hours, the countless dread of logging in at times, and we have been pushing through it. And I thank the Prime Minister and the Deputy Prime Minister for leading us down this path. And I hope that they continue to do so with such fervor and excitement as they did during the beginning. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Mr.
yes,
Speaker,
yeah.
I thank the development minister for his comments, and I want to say that I think a really important thing that we should be focusing on is, I think, new player recruitment. I would really love to see some fun events being planned by the Internal Affairs Ministry, and I'm very glad to hear from the minister that those are in the works. And so I would, in my capacity as the opposition leader, I would be very happy to support those efforts. I have also suggested that perhaps a board of tourism is in order. I mean, we have an international system. I think it would be interesting and fun to see how we can promote our great nation to Redmont. And perhaps the Board of Tourism may also explore opportunities to create like an online presence. Maybe there are some social media things that we could do in order to show the wider world what a great and cool country we are, and how many opportunities there are to help like shape and build our nation in its early days. So I would invite anybody interested in those efforts to talk to me. My DMs are open. Let's see how we can make that happen.
All right. Does anyone else has any topic of a discussion they would like to do? If not, then
Oh, hi.
hello.
Hello. I have a draft piece of legislation I haven't brought forth to the floor yet, but it's on the chamber files, and it's the non-citizens tax exemption act. I'd love to get some feedback on that from members of this house.
I have it open. I'm just going to give it a little read.
Okay, then you have a minute to read, and then you can give your reply.
All right, I've given it a little peruse. Mr. Speaker, I mean, this isn't a bad idea. I think no taxation without representation is a good idea, and so we should free any non-citizens from any tax burden, any like undue tax burden that they might face. I think when it comes to the /pay tax, I would maybe consider like lowering it a little, or maybe like considering who exactly that pays that tax. Is it like an additional fee that the non-citizen person pays, or is it paid by the proprietor of the chess shop or the receiver? But at any rate, like on the whole, like I think this is a good bill. So I'd be happy to support it.
Mr. Prime Minister, you have a response that you would like to give to the opposition member. You may rise and you can say it right now if you wish.
Hi. So I know that this bill is created by a member of my party, um, but I would like to state that I actually do not believe that non-citizens should be exempted from a balance tax, and the reason for that is. Uh, they are here and they are benefiting from all of our services, even though they aren't necessarily voting. They have access to our university. They are protected by our Ministry of Justice. They are able to have lawsuits in our court systems. They're walking on the roads. They're using the buildings. These are all made by our Ministry of Development. They've been given, hopefully, a tour by our Ministry of Welfare. Uh, these are all paid for by taxes, and if they're using them, they ought to be paying taxes.
I recognize.
Mr. Speaker, you know what, Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister has a point, and I think in light of that, I would reconsider my remarks on the transaction tax. I do think if I live in the United States and I go to Canada and clearly I don't pay like Canadian income tax, and yet I benefit from Canadian roads and Canadian public transport and Canadian hospitals and things like that. But when I go to the store, I pay sales tax. So I think that is maybe a framework that we can think about here.
Mr. Prime Minister, do you have a response?
No, I'm fine with what he said.
Okay. Is there any other topics that shall be discussed in the chamber? Anything? I guess not. Okay, so
Can I just like make an
yeah,
announcement?
announcement shall be given after this. After this.
Oh, they're later. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. In order to end the debate, there must be a motion. So I move to motion to end the debate. So, Mr. Rebels, Mr. Opposition Leader.
I rise. I'm assuming we're voting in favor right now. Is that
Yes.
what's happening? Okay, I rise.
Yes,
I do
yes.
rise to vote in favor. Yes.
Mr. Rebels, Mr. Honorable Member of Parliament, Rebels.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Do you accept to end the motion to end debate?
I do, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, then the parliamentary debate shall be ended. And now we shall move to the announcements or motions or notices or legislative processes where the members of parliament shall give notices or any motions or basically any bills that are in its due process or any announcements. If you have anything, then you shall rise so I can recognize you and then you may go ahead. Yes, Mr. Prime Minister.
Hi. So I already announced this in government announcements earlier this morning. Um, Unfortunately, Deputy Prime Minister Ethan was not able to make it to this session today. But as hopefully you already know by now, is that he is planning to resign from that position as well as Parliament. Sometime in the next week, he's going to be working with me to kind of wind his work down and figure out some ways to do this. And AIMSLAP had already mentioned some of the burnout that a lot of the members of government and even just members of parliament on both sides of the aisle have been feeling. We've seen the resignation of Mango, of Juno, the disappearance of Greenish Nine, and now coming up we have the resignation of Ethan. These are all sad. It's unfortunate that we're having to to deal with these losses. But I think what maybe we need to be asking ourselves is not uh, the question we need to be asking ourselves is why are we seeing so many people drop out on both sides of the aisle? This isn't a political issue. The issue that we're having here is that, well, I believe that the issue that we're having here is that people are doing a lot of hard work. We're trying to run a nation, a kingdom that had been fully established by staff before any laws were created, and it's hard work, and often it goes without a thank you, and it draws in some immense criticism. Now we welcome criticism of the government, but we believe that criticism can go too far when you start focusing on the nature of the person rather than the nature of what happened. Yeah, so all that to say, of course, Ethan is going to be resigning because, frankly, there's just been too much going on, and yeah, so just that's all.
Is there anything else? Yes, I recognize.
Mr. Speaker, I just wanted to say I am sad to see the Deputy Prime Minister go. I think it's clear to me that he wanted what's best for Alexandria, and I know we've had our very public disagreements on certain approaches that he's taken, but I've known him in private to be considerate and respectful. So I think it is sad to see him go, like I said. So that is all.
Is there anything else? Bloody rebels? Do you have anything else to say, or basically anybody?
Just mentioned that it looks like 30 Stone, aka Stone Boy, is typing right
Oh, let's see.
now. Oh, there we go.
Okay. Okay, I guess there's nothing else we would like to share. If there's nothing else, gentlemen, I once again thank the members of parliament as well as the members of the public on attending today's session. We will have more of these soon, God willingly. Long live Alexandria, long live the king. Hang on, let me just. The session has now been adjourned. You may now leave the chamber.
Start. GG.
It's been
Good answer.